As one of the earliest dynasties in Chinese history, the Xia Dynasty dates back to around 2070 BC, although the exact history of the Xia Dynasty is a matter of some debate. Legends and cultural relics suggest that it was one of the first dynasties that actually existed in Chinese history. This article will explain the history, political system, social culture, and the story of the Xia Dynasty in detail, hoping that readers can have a more comprehensive understanding of the origin and development of Chinese history. Historical background of the Xia Dynasty. The Xia Dynasty is one of the earliest dynasties in Chinese history, dating back to around 2070 BC. The predecessor of the Xia Dynasty was the tribal alliance during the period of the 3 Miao and 5 emperors. The founder of the Xia Dynasty was Yu. According to legend, Yu was a flood control hero who experienced 9 years of arduous journey to successfully control the flood disaster in the Yellow River Basin, which led to the social and economic recovery and development of the Yellow River Basin. The story of Yu's treatment of the flood has been passed down and become one of the important symbols and elements in Chinese culture and thought. The history of the Xia Dynasty was not smooth sailing. It experienced many political and social changes and upheavals. The history of the Xia Dynasty is divided into 3 stages, namely the early Xia, Xia Pan, and Ji. At the beginning of the summer, Xia kings respected theocracy and were politically stable. During the summer solstice period, the authority of Xia monarchs to theocracy gradually weakened, and there were some political problems. The reign of Ji was the last and most turbulent period of the Xia Dynasty. Ji, the last emperor of the Xia Dynasty, pursued pleasure and lewdness, neglected politics and people's livelihood, and caused social unrest and political chaos. Ji's lewdness and corruption aroused the discontent of the people and caused political and social unrest. During this period the Xia Dynasty declined and was eventually replaced by the Shang Dynasty, but the contribution and influence of the Xia Dynasty had a profound impact on Chinese history and culture. The political system of the Xia Dynasty. The political system of the Xia Dynasty was based on the feudal system, which was also the first feudal dynasty in Chinese history. The Xia Dynasty monarchy had a very important position. The monarch was the core of political and social life. The Xia emperors were called the Son of Heaven, or the Son of the Mandate of Heaven, symbolizing the sanctity and divine authority of the God of Heaven. Another important feature of the Xia monarchy is the hereditary system, that is, the succession system of the king. The Xia kings passed the throne to their sons or relatives, which had a profound influence on the development of feudal dynasties in China. Politically, Xia monarchs maintained social order and stability by creating official posts and establishing ranks of officials. The official positions in the Xia dynasty were divided into 9 levels: Seikan, Situ, Sima, Si Cao, Si Men, Decima, Daisan, De Si Cao and Taishi. These offices are in charge of political, military, legal, and cultural work in various fields. The Xia also established the chieftain system, which was responsible for administering the land and promulgating laws. These chiefdoms were responsible for administering the land, collecting taxes, and ruling the people. The official position and chieftain system of Xia dynasty had an important influence on the political system and bureaucratic system of Chinese feudal dynasty. Social culture of the Xia dynasty. The social culture and political system of the Xia dynasty were closely related, reflecting the social development and people's life at that time. In terms of social life, the Xia people lived mainly on agriculture, but also developed handicraft industry and commerce. The handicraft industry in the Xia dynasty was relatively developed, mainly based on bronzeware manufacturing and pottery making. Commerce was also active in the Xia dynasty, mainly by water and land trade. The social development of the Xia dynasty also brought cultural prosperity, with many cultural achievements and legends. In terms of culture, The Xia dynasty mainly developed the culture of sacrifice, music and dance, divination and calligraphy. The sacrificial activities of the Xia dynasty were very rich and colorful, among which the most important was to offer sacrifices to the gods and ancestors of heaven and earth. The music and dance of the Xia dynasty were very famous, mainly involving songs, dances, and musical instruments. Divination was also very important in the Xia dynasty. People used divination to understand the will of gods and predict the future. Calligraphy of the Xia dynasty is also of high artistic value. Oracle bone scripts and gold inscriptions of the Xia dynasty are important chapters of ancient Chinese calligraphy. In addition, the Xia dynasty also left many stories about myths and legends. One of the most famous is the legend of Yu the Great controlling the flood. It is said that at that time, the flood was so great that Yu was awarded the title of General of Flood Control by the Emperor of Heaven. After 9 years of hard work, he finally cured the flood and saved the people from the deep suffering. The story reflects not only the natural disasters and governance of the Xia dynasty, but also the people's belief in myths and legends, decline and influence of the Xia dynasty. There are two theories about the demise of the Xia dynasty. One theory is that the Xia dynasty was corrupted in character and politics, which led to social unrest and popular discontent, and was finally destroyed by the Shang dynasty. Another theory holds that climate change and natural disasters that reduced agricultural production, combined with leadership incompetence, ultimately led to the demise of the Xia dynasty. Whatever the cause of its demise, the Xia dynasty had a profound impact on Chinese history and culture. The Xia dynasty was the first feudal dynasty in Chinese history, which laid the foundation of China's political system and bureaucratic system. The development of handicraft industry and commerce in the Xia dynasty also laid the foundation for the economic development and cultural exchange in ancient China. The myths and legends of the Xia dynasty also influenced the development of ancient Chinese culture and art. In short, the Xia dynasty is an important dynasty in Chinese history and one of the important sources of Chinese culture. The achievements and contributions of the Xia dynasty in politics, economy, culture and other aspects not only had an important impact on the development of ancient Chinese culture and society, but also laid the foundation for the later Chinese feudal dynasties and became an important milestone in the development of Chinese culture and politics.